it's the second day of release, and we already got our third patch. And just one thing about this, the naming convention is Civ 7 version 1.0.1, and it's then the third patch. Alright? What we can like infer from this, right, is that there's gonna be a Civ 8, because they sent Civ version 7.0.1. This is Civ 7 version 1, right? And saying that if this doesn't even, the third patch doesn't move this number around, this will mean features, small features, major features, and well, what's the 2 then gonna be? I mean, why isn't it Civ 7 point? Why is it Civ 7 version 1? So what's the version 2 of Civ 7? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe the future will tell. The future will tell. But what is good to know that they are listening to all the feedback. They're working day in, day out, night and day, right? So let's see.
Today's 1.0.1 patch 3 for PC focuses on addressing key areas of player-reported issues that we can act on most quickly. We're still actively working on a development roadmap outlining more major updates to the game, including improvements to the UI and other critical areas. Our goal is to share this roadmap in the coming weeks. We appreciate your patience as we determine what we can deliver in the near future. As always, we greatly appreciate your feedback, so please keep sharing your thoughts on the Steam discussion forums or our official Civilization Discord server.
Alright, so they're working on a roadmap, which means they're determining the scope. How big is the big picture for the, well, let's assume until we get 1.1.1, right? Or 1.1.0. And the UI and other critical areas. So they're saying the UI is quite critical because that teaches you how to play the game, actually. The game looks good, but if it's not easy to use, if it's not accessible to all, I mean, what's the point of looking good if you can't like show it off with the full picture, with the full game, late game, right? So we got general stability improvements, which means just bug fixes, crashes. I mean, the game crashes quite a lot, which isn't a problem having autosave enabled, right? And it boots up quite quickly as well. So it's just a knock on the shoulder. Hey, you should probably take a break anyway. But yeah, that's good. But the actual gameplay updates.
Bombers can now deploy nuclear weapons when packed into an aerodrome, carrier, or squadron commander. Previously, only heavy bombers could do so. Addressed an issue.
So yeah, that means it's just easier for new players or not that experienced players to get that nuke they want, right? It's not anything. Usually, what people want to do in Civ when they get it, I've not actually done that yet. But you just want to do the nukes, right? You want to deploy the nukes, right? But if it's only heavy bombers, it's harder. It'll take more time, and some people might not even notice or realize that you need heavy bombers to do it. They think, oh, I messed something up, or it's just a bug. It's not a bug, maybe. It's a balancing feature, but yeah, the balancing shouldn't take away from the actual game experience. Sometimes a few things in the past, like Six's few features introduced during the DLC were controversial. They were meant to balance out the game, but if it's done at the cost of actual game enjoyment or game engagement, it makes the product inferior, and it's not a good look, right? So it's better to first make the thing appealing, but yeah, maybe then balance out the nukes.
Issue, where some users reported experiencing specialists being removed from settlements when confirming the legacy cards from age transition.
Which means you lose population, or yields anyway. That'll murk the whole settlements, and that was one big issue with the criticism with the ages. That how come your cities become way worse off when the age transitions? Well, there's resources, and if there's some kind of bugs like this, well, it makes it seem like, well, everything changed, as they kind of do, but they're making it more coherent, more enjoyable. Yeah.
Addressed an issue that some users report experiencing where the 300 gold from discovering a natural wonder while playing as Isabella was not being granted.
Well, that's kind of game breaking. You're playing, your main ability is taken away. Like, that's a huge nerf. So it's good that they fixed it. I could actually go for Isabella. For a more settling and exploration kind of game, not that combat focused, but yeah.
Granted. Addressed an issue that some users reported experiencing where the factory was unavailable when a distant land settlement was connected to a homeland settlement in the modern age.
That was huge as well. I was playing the last game as Prussia, right? I couldn't get them up, or like I was thinking, do these need a port? No, I don't have a port, but it has a railway, and that railway goes through another city. Does that count? So kind of the main mechanics of the distant land settlements were missing. Therefore, the value of having those distant land settlements diminished greatly.
Age. Addressed an issue that some users reported experiencing where sea trade and rail connections sometimes failed in settlements where the city center was not adjacent to the coast.
And this is a part of why that probably happened. These are should be alongside, but these are minor things on the surface, but have that huge impact on the whole game enjoyment and the balancing of it. So this isn't what they're saying. It's just a minor patch. This is important in my view, and as is even more important is the whole UI.
Continue to address alignment issues some users reported when playing in simplified Chinese. We will continue to make improvements here in future patches. Improved font scaling in the civilization and tech tree screens. Improved image and font alignment in the city details menu.
Yep.
Improved spacing and alignment on the war declaration screen.
So that just means they made it look more pretty and more readable, which is important for a game that has vast amount of information you gotta actively process. If they're not conveniently displayed for you in a like size and orientation that fits for you without having to cause eye strain, without you have to like squint in your eyes, is important if you want to learn the game and over time get better at it, right? So therefore the whole game revolves around the UI, because they don't have strategic view, but you could have played the old games in 2D if you wanted, right? So you don't need the visuals. What you need is the intuitive UI.
Screen. Addressed an issue that some players reported experiencing with navigating the Civilopedia search results with the controller. Addressed an issue that some players reported experiencing where the unique quarter description appears cut off when viewing and building breakdown screen. Addressed an issue that some players reported experiencing where unlocalized text appeared when viewing the nuclear weapons available warning pop-up in
That's cool. That's cool. You got some you got some Russian text just popping up. Could be taken some other way when you got news, right? But yeah, this is just again good. If you can't read, you got to be able to read. For a controller, I imagine the Civilopedia being god-awful anyway. So if it's god-awful, you got to make it as easy, as intuitive as possible.
Age. Improvements to the age transition spend point screen.
That's good.
Add a notification for when an enemy attacks a player's unit in single player.
This happened to me multiple times. I'm focusing on the distant land parts like late game or something. then just I'm warring there, right? I'm warring there. I just don't even notice my capital, not my capital, the city next to my capital just got taken. I mean, it had been attacked for a few turns already, but hey, they took it because there was no information, nothing on the map, nothing. You're just going in turn and you war. You make those you're turtling back home with some 50 turn wonders or something, and you're focused on the battle. They just go behind your back. You don't notice anything, and boom, you lose your city. You lose the whole game.
Improve the performance of city detail screen when viewing a large city.
Oh, this is good. The actual city detail screen that you gotta click through the button had some major problems. But yeah, I skipped over this, this is important because you don't know. This is a new mechanic. This is like, what should I pick? Why does these do this, and how can I use these points? How do the points even work? And there's a wildcard point. Where do you get the wildcard points even, right? So this will help you plan out the next age, and maybe it'll make it more. Maybe it'll make more sense to the person. Therefore, it'll be a more pleasant experience. The age transitions, how it's now in the game, like they're a major part of the balancing. So even if you snowball early on, it's still everyone starts at the same spot then, right? So there isn't the usual Civ 5 had like if you played Deity and let someone snowball out of control, like. It's not fun them having modern armor. You're just getting the 6 free units from democracy. So yeah.
Improved progress bar information consistency. HUD progress wheels go the right way now. The escape key can be used to back out of the independent power screen. Added building icons to the plot tooltip with their status. Added wonder icons to the plot tooltip with a gameplay effect. Made resource icons larger on improved tiles and smaller on unimproved tiles. Thank you for the inspiration, Secretary.
So yeah, that's actually huge. Again, the that you can press the ESC to back out of anything, because it used in few screens still. I guess if you press the ESC button, you'll throw up the save menu, right? The exit save menu, where in addition to changing the or adding a key to V, is it on me to press enter, I got my left hand when I play, my pinky is on ESC, right? Because I use that, because the right click, it's good, but you gotta get used to it first, where ESC should be just default back to where you can rotate the save game menu, right? So that's how you use it on any Civ. So it's important that you play the game using the same hand movements or key presses as the previous games, because the people that have played for thousands of hours the previous games find this game intuitive and similar and as easy to play as them. So the experience correlates, yeah. And progress bar information consistency. All right. What's the progress wheel? Not sure about that. By building icons to the plot tooltip with their status. Added wonder icons to the plot tooltip with the gameplay effects. Good. So they use pictures instead of words, which is for people that suffer from dyslexia a huge like you gotta understand, like this could be just word solid before you've read it, right? So if there's, well, hey, here's a picture of a pyramid or a nuke. Yeah, here's a nuke picture. You all were talking about nukes here without actually reading it. So this is huge, and I haven't checked it out. My Steam's just loading up the patch. It was 1.3 gigs as well, so it isn't that minor. But so the game itself is 16 gigs, and now we got 1.3 gigs of patches times 3, 4 gigs of patches already, so 20 gigs. But there has to be some. They probably just anything that thing concerned. The whole thing is coming fresh. But yeah, and now Koreans look like Koreans. I would not have noticed that. But yeah, well, that's the patches, and look, positive, and positive. Have you what other game studio has patched their release 3 times using the community feedback in a day, basically, right? Because they released this some 30 hours ago. Of course, the early access was there. It was early access, right? That's a good thing to have in early access. But yeah, quite excited about this, because it means we're gonna have more patches, right? More patches means a better game. So yeah, although there's been a huge amount of criticism, it has to be some kind of marketed that, hey, do you remember Civ 5 Vanilla? Yeah, go play Civ 5 Vanilla. Hopefully you get the who was it who built wonders, and they get the Hanging Gardens. Let's see how you can play against them. We're in 7. At least the AI won't steamroll you, because the game is just, well, the game has some issues, but yeah, not anymore. That many even. Sure, there'll be new ones that get revealed, and then they'll patch them as well. But the important bit is to get the actual game in a good working state, and then we'll think about what kind of content is fitting for the actual framework. And that's what the devs said, that it's been always the case that first you gotta learn the game in order to create all kinds of mechanics that utilize and break the game in a fun way, right? And not break the game in an unplayable, hey, I can't understand this kind of way. But that's it.